Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to clean your combs, your brushes, and your salon items that you use on hair when you're in home or in a salon. So you need a box. This is what I had in beauty school. You need a box that says Barbicide, and you need your measurements according to that container. Of course, it can change. Mine is 64:4. When you're dealing with Barbicide, it's 1 part Barbicide to 16 parts water. So you will figure that by whatever container you're using. So for all your items that you use on clients, you never want to use the same item more than once on more than one client. You want to have a dirty box, and it needs to have your name, and it needs to say dirty box, and it needs to be all the way around here. So if you ever had to deal with State Board, they know exactly what's in this container. When you are dealing with clean items, you need to have them labeled and packaged as well. So this says duckbill clips, clean. You need to make sure it says that, and they actually need to be clean inside of there. This says clipper guards, and they actually need to be clean inside of there. When you're dealing with combs or clips, it needs to say clean on it. And I have a lot of combs. You guys can see that dirty box is pretty full, and I still have combs in here that are unused, right? Plastic clips. Of course, all of my clips don't fit in here, but the ones that are still clean are in here. Once you get into the point where you want to wash your items, you need gloves, you guys. When you're dealing with Barbicide, you cannot touch it with your bare hands. If you do, it's gonna like irritate your skin and burn your skin. The level of degree that it will burn, I don't know. I've never fully soaked my hand in Barbicide, but I know that you're supposed to use gloves, so make sure you have gloves, you guys. You're also going to need your Barbicide. This is what you use to clean all of your plastic and metal items pertaining to hair. You can also use disinfectant sprays for like things that cannot be soaked. And for things like nail care and foot care, you would use a different disinfectant, or you can use bleach. And the measurements for bleach is 1 part bleach to 9 parts water. So this is what it looks like, you guys. We're only going to use 4 ounces of this inside of our water, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it. But you also need, we're going to come over here, you also need 2 towels. As you guys can see, I have 2 towels right here. You need 1 for the surface that you're working on, and you need 1 to put over your items that you clean. So all of your items have to be cleaned with soap and water first before you can dip them inside of your Barbicide. So you want to clean everything, you want to lay it all out on a towel, and you want to cover them up with another towel. You can also cover them up with paper towels or napkins or whatever you have, but they have to be covered up to make sure no dirt or debris gets back on the clean items. After you clean them with soap and water, you then dip them into your Barbicide and you leave them in there for 10 minutes. And you make sure you have a timer or something to keep track of how long you've had it in there, because if you're dealing with metal items, they will rust very fast if you forget them inside of the Barbicide. Even though it's diluted, it's still strong. So come back over here with all our dirty stuff. And I'm going to show you guys how to make your Barbicide. As you can see, mine's measured out. If I come right here to the bottom of this line, it's going to give me 64 ounces. So I'm just going to fill this up with water. But first, if you guys don't know how to measure out ounces, you can use cups. 64 ounces is 8 cups of water. So, and it doesn't matter if you use cold or warm, but you don't want to use extremely hot water, because honestly, your textbook will tell you that hot water is no more effective than warm water. So they want you to use lukewarm to warm water. And make sure your sink is clean as well. We're just going to turn that off right at 64 ounces. I'm going to lift it up so you guys can see how to put in your barbicide. So we're going to put it right here. Grab our measuring cup. This measures out 2 ounces. So we're just going to fill it up to this top line twice. And pour that in there. And if you do not make your measurements right and State Board comes out and tests your water, because they do have strips that they put inside of your water to test and make sure that you have measured out your cleaning supplies correctly. So if they were to stick their little test strip inside of your water and the ratio isn't right, whatever establishment you're working in will get a fine for that. So you want to make sure you're doing your measurements correctly according to whatever container you're using. You just want to mix that around up in there with something clean. And that's how your water should look. As you guys can see, it measures out to 68 ounces. Rinse that off. Alright, so a quick tip that I'm going to give you guys is to clean all of your brushes first. As you guys can see, I have a lot of brushes here. I do sew-ins more than anything. So I use a lot of my paddle brushes and like wig brushes the most. And of course you don't want to use the same one on more than one client. So a way to get, excuse me, a way to get the hair out of your brushes, you guys can see hair is hanging from here. A way to get hair out of your brushes is to take your comb and just pull the hair up out of there like this. And of course you want to do this before you go to clean it, so that way the hairs don't get wet and stick to the brush. And you just want to pull it out like this. And we're going to do that with every brush. And then I'm going to show you guys how to clean them. All right, so after you get done with one set, you want to go ahead and grab your next set of items that you're going to end up cleaning, and it will be our combs, of course. You want to make sure it's free of any hair, anything that you can physically take out of the comb without having to use the brush. So hair, glue, and things like that. Of course, we got our ear covers. You must clean these as well, you guys. Those are okay to dip into barbicide. Most things are. Like I said, you want to be careful with your metal items because they will rust. But getting everything prepped before you get started helps the cleaning process go by faster. So and you want to put it up like an assembly line. So once I get done rinsing these combs off, or cleaning these combs and these brushes, I will set it over here on the towels and cover them up. Alright. So what we have left, of course, is our shears. You can put these inside a barbicide, you guys. You just want to make sure that you clean them with soap and water first. And you also can use a disinfectant spray for these. You do not have to put them in barbicide. It's better if you do because it's more effective than a disinfectant spray. Of course, we have our duckbill clips. These are harder to clean, but if you just use a brush to clean these, it's a lot easier. That's why I showed you guys the brush that I use. And then when you're done, you would just clip these to the side of your towel for them to dry. Do not keep these in the barbicide for longer than 5 to 10 minutes or they will rust. And then we have our clips that's dirty as well. And of course, I already made sure these are free of hair too, so I'm just gonna put them back in there. So now we have our brushes in the sink, our combs right here, and then our clips and our duckbill clips. Everything's separated. Now we can go ahead and wash them and get them ready to dip into the barbicide. I forgot to mention, you want to scrub out this container as well that your dirty stuff was in. The lid. And this is permanent marker, that's why it's not coming off. So you just want to rinse that out, so that when your stuff gets dirty again, it's okay to go ahead and put it inside of here. And you want to flip this upside down onto a surface. You could just leave it in the sink like this. And you want to take your brush and you want to clean that out as well with anything that's inside of it, because you want to put this brush inside of the barbicide too. So we got our clips, we got our brush that we just finished cleaning, and then we have our duckbill clips hanging from our towel right here. This is the best way to do it, you guys, so you can make sure that your clips don't rust. I suggest doing it like this. Now you want to come under here and you want to start grabbing your brushes and dipping them inside of your barbicide. Alright, so we got our brushes inside of the liquid right now. The barbicide, as you can see, everything is completely immersed inside of the liquid. It has to be completely covered up, you guys. You cannot overcrowd your barbicide. Do not put more items in there that can fit. I did go ahead and make a little bit more of the solution so that more items can fit in here. When you're done with soaking them, you want to use tongues or you can use your gloves. Take the items out and rinse them off, and then put them back on a towel. So you just take them out of here, you rinse them off. Remember that if you do not clean your items with soap and water first, then they are not clean. You cannot just use an item and then throw it in your barbicide. You have to clean it with soap and water and a brush, and then let it air dry or towel dry it, and then put it inside of your barbicide. Let it sit for 10 minutes, and then take all the items out, rinse them off, cover them back up until they dry, and then you put them away in whatever things you use to storage them, like the pink containers that I have, or whatever you want to use. When you are done with your barbicide, you have to dump it out. You're supposed to discard it after every use. State board regulations change all the time. It used to be where you discard it after each day, every 24 hours, but now it's after each use. So you want to make sure that you dump out the solution in a toilet or a sink that you do not use, like a basement sink or any sink inside of your establishment that is not used for food and dishes and things like that. You just want to make sure you're being really sanitary. If you ask your stylist what barbicide is and she doesn't know, run. Because 9 times out of 10, she's not cleaning her items at home. Well, you know she's not cleaning them because she doesn't know what barbicide is. And she probably doesn't use bleach either. No shade, but all shade, you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and put my combs in here now. Go ahead and dump my combs in there. I thank you guys for tuning into another video. I'm just going to be completing the same process over and over again. So I don't want it to be too repetitive. But I will see you guys in another video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Bye, y'all. So I just wanted to show you guys what your barbicide will look like after you take all of your combs and brushes and everything out of it, you will be able to see all the dirt and things that you couldn't see when you were cleaning them with soap and water. And this is precisely why it's important to put your utensils in the Barbicide. And then of course I have my combs and clips air drying over here. You can towel dry them, it's your preference. I just like to let them air dry, but I want to show you guys that real quick before I went ahead and said goodbye for real. You can see that there's hair and dirt and all types of things left in your Barbicide, so we're gonna go ahead and dump this out.